Let's just stand right at the front of the mat, and you can stand, just take the hands right onto your low back and just press the shoulder blades back. Take an in-breath, gaze up, open through the chest, and then exhale and tuck the chin nice and snug, and take in some deep breaths. Now just feel the elbows press right back. And then gently take an in-breath again and gaze up, really lift the chin. And then exhale and tuck your chin. Keep the elbows pressing back as you lengthen up through the low back. One more time. Inhale, gaze up. And then exhale and tuck the chin. Press the elbows back. Use the hands to lift the low back up. And then gently release the head back up. Just keep the hands behind. So here you can just keep the elbows pressing back and then interlace the hands behind. Once again, gaze up, lift the chin, and then exhale and tuck the chin and press the shoulder blades down. Now the rib cage stays drawn in and lifted so that you keep that space right in the waist. And one more breath. Okay, very good. Now we're going to come right down to all fours, and you can take the hands right underneath the shoulders. Now take the wrists, sorry, your wrists, Virginia. Just taking the hips around and make circles with your hips. Come on way over to the side. And keep your breathing in and out through the nose. And now come on in the other direction. It's coming around. Good. And then you can come right back to your center. Now just do a swish side to side. Let the hip tip way out. Roll over onto that outside of the knee. And let yourself tip over. And keeping your breathing steady. And two more coming over. And center. Now we'll come into child's pose. Tuck your toes under. Walk the hands forward. Take an inhale and then exhale and release the forehead to the floor. Palm the mat out there as you pull your core back. Again, stay with nice deep breaths. And two more deep breaths. On the exhale, you can pull your abdominal wall in, so you do that Pillsbury Dough poke, pulling the belly button back. And this is the last inhale. And then come on right back up onto all fours, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Now take an in-breath, lift the eyes, arc the back, and then exhale and rise into your downward dog, letting the heels drop. Pull back through the bum bones so you're lengthened through the backs of the legs. And then bend your knees and then tip the bum way up so you can lengthen more into the low back. Getting a straight line right from the tailbone right through to the top of the head. And then just let the head turn side to side. Keep the bum bones pulling back. And then you're to your center. Let the heels drop, let the legs straighten. Pressing the heels down. And then one more time, bend the knees, lift the bum up towards the ceiling, pull the bum back further. And then from there, you're going to gaze up and tip right up onto the tips of the toes. And then shift the bum forward, and your shoulders are right over your hands. Now take an in-breath, gaze up. Come, step the feet in between the hands. Come on, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, breathe the arms up, bring the palms together. And then exhale the arms to center. And inhale again, gazing up, open. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, come halfway up, touch. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, jump or step the legs back. Rolling to the left for your side plank, take an in-breath. Stack that shoulder back. And then come on back to your center. Breathe in, lift, opening the chest, draw that shoulder back. And then back to your center. And now you can reach the heels out, lengthen through the legs, strong. Stay in the plank for a moment while you keep the rib cage lifted and center the hips. Really send the heels back. Pull the cage up. And then let's exhale plank, maybe bend the knees. Exhale, lower. Press the elbows down, press the palms down, gaze ahead, coming into your sphinx as you press the tops of the feet down. And then you can exhale to flat, walk your knees in right underneath the hips. Take the hands under the shoulders, take an in-breath arc up, gaze up. And then exhale and tuck the toes, lift right up into your downward dog, letting the heels drop. Now the head, if you wish, again, just gently turn from side to side. Get that lift right up from the bum bones. And if it feels better, another option to do this to help with the wrist, Virginia, is to do dolphin, which is a really different pose. You'll get more of a stretch in the upper back, but it's really nice underneath the shoulders. And this is a really good way to stretch in between the shoulder blades. So if anybody wants to try that, it's coming right down onto the elbows. Your feet are walking further, and inevitably you'll be on the balls of the feet as opposed to the heels. And you keep the same rise of the bum bones up towards the ceiling. So in either breath, take one more breath. And for us in dolphin, you can come onto the hands slowly, lift the bum, and then gaze up, come up onto the tips of the toes, and then jump or step the feet to the hands, come up halfway up, lift. Exhale, fold forward. And then breath in, breathe the arms up, bring the palms together, shoulders dropped, and then exhale the arms to center. Okay, lovely. And now breathing in, gaze up, opening through the chest, and then exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Just looking to see who else joined us here. Breathing in, gaze up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, jump or step the legs back. Turning to your side plank, turning to the left, big in-breath, chest is open. Then you can come back to your center, roll to the other side, big in-breath, shoulder blade is back. And then back to your center. Now reach the heels out, lengthening through the backs of the legs, keep the rib cage lifted, stay in your plank, and you can always come down to the elbows from this position. And in either position, take the legs wide, reach the heels out, keep the rib cage really lifted as you send the legs back, and then draw the legs together and wide and together. Once more, wide and together. And then you can exhale to lower, feel free to let the knees bend. Press down into the elbows, press into the palms, breathe in, gaze up. Pressing the pubic bone down in your sphinx. And then neutral spine, bend, walk the knees in right underneath the hips. Take the hands under the shoulders. Take an in-breath, gaze up, lift the eyes, tuck the toes under, and then exhale and rise into your downward dog. Now keep that bum bones lifting as you lengthen, as you pull the core up. And again, the head drops so you feel the top of the head reaching towards the floor. The core is pulling in, heels pressing back and down as much as you can. Keep the thighs active. Now let's bend the knees again and come right up onto the balls of the feet. Now look up and get the bum as high as you can. Shift forward so the shoulders come right out over the hands. And then take an in-breath again. And on your exhale, step the feet forward between the hands. Come on, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, breathe the arms up, lift from the rib cage, pressing palms together. And then you can exhale the arms to center. Inhale again, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, jump or step the legs back. Come into your side plank, either full side plank or bend that underside knee. Just feel the best version. And then rotating to the other side. Lift the underside waist, keeping that shoulder back. And then come on back to your center. Now with the plank, we'll have the feet just hip width apart. Send the heels back and then just dunk one knee down and then straighten. And again, dunk and straighten and just touch and straighten and touch and straighten. We'll just do 108 more and straighten and keep the rib cage in, and 4 more actually, and touch and really lift the rib cage, and 2. Good, we've got 2 now. Touch and left. Now you can step the feet together. Exhale, either straight body or bend the knees lower to the floor. Bend the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Press the elbows down, gaze ahead. Take an in-breath. Take an extra breath here as you press the tops of the feet down. And feel the elbows pierce into your mat. And then you can come into usual neutral spine. Bend the knees right underneath the hips. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Take an in-breath, lift. And then you can tuck the toes, exhale and rise and lift into your downward dog. Keep the bum bones really lifting high. Good, now just stay there for a minute. I'm just gonna do a little adjustment here of the lights. Taking in 3 more breaths. Okay, good. And then on the last breath, not the last breath, but gazing up, come right up onto the tiptoes, jump or step the feet to the hands, come on, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, bring the arms up, bring the palms together, gazing up, and then exhale the arms to center. And again, inhale, gazing up, open through the chest. Exhale, fold forward, reach out through the crown of the head, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up, touch. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, jump or step the legs back, rotate to your left, either bend the underside knee or straighten, open through the chest. Let's take an extra breath and take the arm a little further back so you're really open. And then you can come back to your center. Extend that arm right out overhead and reach and extend right from the waist. And 1 deep breath. And then you can release that arm, come all the way back down. Rotate to the other side, opening the chest, draw that shoulder blade back. Keeping the ribs underside really lifting. An extra breath as the arm comes further back. And then you come with the arm to middle. Breathe in and take the arm overhead, lengthen nice and long right through the side of the waist, big breath. And then you can take that arm around, come on back. And now reaching out through the heels once again, coming into plank. Let's stay here and keep the rib cage lifted. Now just do 3 deep breaths. And the whole time, see if you can keep the abdominal wall in the same place. So attempting not to expand it as you breathe in. And when you exhale, if you can pull up it a little bit, knit the ribs in. And here's the last full breath. Keeping the legs charged. Good. And then legs step together. Exhale to lower, possibly bending the knees. Now press the elbows down into the floor. Breathe in, gaze up. And 1 more extra breath in your Sphinx. Now, as you come to just neutral spine, just turn to your right and look back. Now strongly press the feet down so you can really pull up from the rib cage. Knit the ribs in, tailbone tucks down with the press of the feet. And then breathe in, turn to your left, just looking over that left shoulder. Keep the elbows pressing down. It's a soft gaze with the eyes back. And then you can come to your center. Now, 1 more time, breathe in, gaze up. And then exhale, chin straight ahead. Now bend the knees right in underneath the hips. Take your hands under the shoulders. Take an in-breath, gaze up. And then exhale, round up into your downward dog. Take your left leg straight up in the air, reach up through that heel, come up on the ball of the right foot. The left leg high and as straight as you can. And now pulse up, just about 6 inches. You're gonna reach out through that heel, the leg as straight as you can. You could also do this on your elbows as well, we'll just demonstrate. And you can have the knee down and you can get the lift like here. I just have you keep your toes tucked under because that'll help with the working core and balance. And then one more pulse. Those in the rise, come on down. Everybody come on down onto your knees. Walk the hands forward. Take an in-breath. And then exhale and child's pose the body back. Release the forehead to the floor. Good, just stay with that. Keeping the arms really reaching. From your child's pose, come right back up with the hips. Tuck the toes under. Take an in-breath, gaze up. Now you can exhale and rise. Take the right leg straight up in the air. Reach up through that heel. Come up on the toes of the left foot. The right leg is super straight. Really reaching. And of course, you can do this down on your left knee and your elbows. Keep that leg pulsing now. Get it reaching. Reach out through the heels so the back of the leg is long and the core is strong. Reaching high with the heel. Breath. Long through the torso. Wonderful reach, and notice you might be able to stretch your shoulder blades a little bit further. So you really get that reach up. And then take that right leg down, stay in your downward dog. Now bend the knees and lift the bum bones higher to the ceiling so you're pulling up from your core. Lengthening underneath the shoulder blades as well as you really palm the mat. And then gaze up, straighten the legs, come up onto the tips of the toes, take an in-breath. Exhale and step the feet forward in between the hands and come halfway up, flat back as you reach out. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, breathe the arms up, lift from the rib cage, pressing the palms together. Exhale the arms to center. And we've got one more. Breathe in, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, come halfway up, touch. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands. Jump or step the legs back. Come into your best version of side plank. Keep the underside waist lifting as you open. And then coming back to the center. Rotate, lift. Again, the underside waist is lifting. Open through the chest, shoulder blade back. And then you can come back to your center. Keep the heels reaching out. Now take the legs wide and then back together. And do this 3 more times and see if you can try not to move the waist at all. Try to keep the rib cage in. Go at your own speed. That was 1. Keeping the rib cage coming in. Go at your speed. It doesn't matter if you need to slow down to get a nice pristine form. That would be better. You can really use the breath better. Now here's the 3rd one. We're going to lower. Take the elbows down. Come back into your Sphinx. Gazing ahead as the elbows press. Lift the eyes. Now just lift the bum up a bit. You're going to press the elbows up like a lift. And then you tuck the tailbone under and continue. Press through the elbows. Now let your shoulder blades press back. And then you can exhale to neutral. Now let's walk the knees in. Stay with the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Take an in-breath and lift the eyes. Exhale, round the spine. And again, continue that. Come into your cat round. Your dog tilt. As you exhale, that's the dog tilt, of course, as the spine lifts. Go into the speed of your own breath. And take 3 more breaths. Okay, very good. Now we'll come right back, sitting on the heels, and then let the shoulders come forward to come into your child's pose. Let the weight drop all the way to the forehead. Now sometimes the bum will be high on this. You might be like this. And if you are, do let the shoulder blades fall forward so that as you're pulling back from your tailbone, you can get that length in the spine. Now take in 3 deep breaths. Really allowing your back to expand. Now, on your next in-breath, breathe in, come on all the way back up. Come on back to your all fours position. We're going to do the cat stretch to the side in that you're going to bring your hips over to the left and then gaze to the left so you're looking towards your bum. Maybe you can see it, maybe not, but you want to get that tip so you're stretching out of the right side of the waist. At the same moment, press the tops of the feet down so you can lengthen the spine a little bit. And take one more breath. And then you can breathe in, come on back to your center, bring the bum over to the right, turn and gaze to the right. Really turn and lengthen through that left side of the neck. And then on your next in-breath, breathe in and draw right back to the center. Now go from side to side in your own time, breathing into the middle and then exhale over to the side, tipping the hips over. You'll feel the shift on the tops of the knees, on the kneecap, and drawing that hip over. And let's do 2 more. Coming across and over to the other side. Okay, here we go. Now we come to the middle. Take the arms forward 2 inches, pressing into the palms. Now extend that left leg out and then reach the heel back. You lift the chin and you press onto the ball of the foot as strongly as you can. And then take the hands further forward 2 inches again and press the heel back more. I'm also really pressing into the heel of the hands, pressing the heel back, looking up. And then you can just come in and change legs. Take the hands back in to begin. Take the right leg out. Press that heel out, stretching through the calf. Take the hands forward 2 inches. Press back, a little bit of push from the palm. Really press back through that heel. And then take the hands forward 2 inches again. Press back a little more, lifting the chin so your chest is high and the back of the leg is strong. Okay, very good. We're now going to continue on this side. Take your left hand under. Come on onto the fingertips of your right hand and turn to the right. Press into that right heel. And then take the right arm up. We come into side plank, but you want to come further. So you draw the right shoulder blade down the back and open through the chest. And then just feel like a big ta-da! So you're getting the rib cage really lifting. And then you can take that arm down. Let's come to the other side, bending the right knee. Turn that left leg out. Press into the left heel. Open the chest, underside waist lifts. Take the arm further back. Opening, underside waist really lifting. Big lift of the chest up. So you open in through the lungs. And then you can take that left arm down. And now in all fours position, just kiss the knees together and come on right back into a kneeling position. Now you can either have the legs straight in front or you can come into kneeling. So the hands are right out to the side. We're going to come into breath of joy. Just do any kind of wiggling that you might need to do to get your neck to be free. Now, as we come into breath of joy, the elbows are directly out, so you're not slightly in front, but they're right alongside on the side of the body. We'll go into 27 pumps, breathing in. Good, and then just take 3 regular breaths. So I hope you enjoyed yesterday. It was so stunning outside, and all the birds and the breeze, and
Everything blooming, the trees, just like the first magical full day of spring. Now we'll do one more regular breath and then we're going to do 27 pumps again. Here we go. Breathing in. And then you can just let your hands rest again. We'll do one more round and 3 regular breaths. It's always good to just check that the chin is back so the head has not come forward slightly. And your shoulders are down your back so you get that wonderful lift. Good. And we're ready to start again. Breathing in. And then you can let your hands rest. Again, 3 regular breaths. Notice any difference that you feel. Increased energy, increased expansion in the breathing muscles in here. Good. The exhale is very, very strong. The inhale is just a natural drawing in. So that's a couple of body breath. It's often referred to as fire breath. And it's really good for resetting the alchemy in the blood and also the mood and in energizing the body too. Now we'll take the hands and just turn the thumbs down. You're going to take your hands onto your back. Now I'm asking if you could wondering if you can come into your reverse prayer for those that can. And if you're working on it, this is where I come around and I push your hands from the pinky side towards the thumb. Once the elbows come back, then you're in a position to start to needle up. It's not easy on the wrist. However, it also stretches the wrist. So you're kind of feeling for reality, but you're also seeing if you can go a little bit further. Now take an in-breath, press the elbows back in your prayer. Gaze up and keep the elbows pressing back and take in 2 more breaths. The chin is on a diagonal, so you're not all the way up, so you're keeping the esophagus really open. And then from there, come into just a usual position and then tuck your chin. Now this is a way to close the windpipe, basically the trachea. And then you need to suck the breath in more strongly. So you need to use the breathing muscles, diaphragm. And in a reduced straw of the throat, really suck the air in. As the elbows press back. Now the breath, with any luck, will be drawn further into the back. Remember the lungs are in the back. They're in the back of the rib cage. And we're enhancing the muscles in the back as well as the muscles, respiratory muscles in the lung area and in through the abdominals. Okay, just one more. Just really keep that chin tucked. Beautiful. Gently, gently release the hands down. And just in case, let's do a nice counter stretch for the wrists. Pulling the hands down towards the forearm. And you're keeping your rib cage lifted. And then we'll take the other hand. Now just watch your tall in the spine. We're going to do one more breath of joy. So bringing the arms out to the side and breathing in. Good, and then just relax the hands. Excellent. Now we're going to come forward, tuck your toes under, and then sit back on your toes, possibly the heels, coming into a squat position. And if that's a bit strong, then of course, come into your standing squat. Let the hips sit back so you still get that drop of the tailbone. You're lifting the head with the chin. And if you're in your full squat, you can take your hands forward as you let your tailbone drop. Beautiful to let the head fall so you get that stretch right in your upper back as well. And one more breath.
Okay, and then everybody, come on up. If you're in your squat, you might press the hands into the knees and then rise and come all the way up to standing. Now we'll turn into our triangle with the right foot forward, the left heel turned back and out on a diagonal. Open through the arms and just draw that left shoulder blade back, lift from the rib cage, and then exhale over to that right side and keep that left hip back as you come down to the right leg. So just listening for the how far you can come down. Basically, the rule is if your left top hip starts to come forward like this, that's when you would come up higher on your leg. But if you can take the hand down and your top left hip stays back, that's where you want to stay. And then you're gazing towards that left hand, the chin is in. Breath. Okay. Now on your next deep breath, come on all the way up, turn down. Breathe in, lift, turning the hands, turn the right heel out, left toes forward. Draw the right waist back as you gaze over the left hand. Exhale over to that side. Keep that right hip back. Good, keep lowering down onto that left leg. Keep on reaching right out through the top of the head. Breath steady. Excellent. Keep pressing into that back right heel. Make sure the back right heel is turned out on a diagonal. So you've got your hip pulled back as much as you can and down. And then we breathe in, come all the way back up. And now we turn into a revolved triangle. So take both hands right onto the low back. Turn the feet facing straight forward, which is different. And your right foot will be over to the side. So I'm going to just show you from this position. So you're having your legs straight and your foot is not in front of the other because you need to have your hips squared. And then you take an in-breath, gaze up. And now taking the, let's see, I had your, sorry guys. Yes, I hope I had your left foot forward. Sorry if I changed it. I can't change positions and then continue. So you're breathing in, you come up, and then exhale, come on to the outside of that left foot. Then that left hand comes up and possibly turn to your left. If you're really tight, you could take your hand on the inside. I'm really tight, and I'm gonna take it on the inside, and then draw that left hip back, pulling up into the hip socket, and the leg is straight. Lengthening, breath. And then you can take that hand down, and now just both hands on either side of that left foot, fingertips pressing into the floor, and then breathe in and look up. And you're sliding the shoulder blades down your back, pulling up through that left thigh, and press your back right foot down. Keep your breath steady. Okay, very good. Now take the right hand further out. We're going to come into a forward fold with the feet apart. Step the right foot forward. Breathe in, gaze up. Now be on all four corners of the feet. I've got my fingertips close to the feet. If you need to take them further up, that's great too. And just checking for how much you need to bend the knees to get the bum to tip really high. Lengthen through the spine. Press the hands down into the floor to slide the shoulder blades down. And then step your left leg back. It's only one leg length, it's quite short. And then you reach out over that left leg. Technically your left hand comes on the outside, but you might need to be inside. Turn to your right and draw that right shoulder blade back as you pull up through the right hip. Breath. Keep pulling that right hip back. Breath. Pull back, pull back. One more breath. Now you can take that right hand down and then take the hand slightly in front, step the left foot forward into your forward fold. Bend your knees and then hug on to the backs of the legs. Let your head fall. Take the chest in contact with the thighs. And then if you can keep that contact and start to straighten the leg and keep the chest in contact with the thighs, come up as straight as you can, keep in contact. And keep the core pulling in. Keep the bum bones really lifting. lengthening through your spine. Okay, very good. Now you take the hands forward, just in front, 1 foot. We're going to step your left leg way back. Now take your hands onto the inside of that right foot. Look up, lift from the rib cage. Now drop down to that left knee. Take an in-breath, take the hands to that right knee as you lift from the rib cage. Press the back, tucked under toes, down. Lift, open through the chest. Extend the arms up and pull, zipper up right from the pubic bone so you can stretch and lengthen through your core. Stay with your breath. Keep the rib cage pulled in, lengthen, pull up from the zipper up from the thigh, so right from the kneecap up to the top of the quad, you're lifting and lifting by tucking the pubic bone under. And breath. Now you can interlace the hands, press the top of the back foot down. Exhale and bring the chest, ribs in contact with your thigh. Send your wrists over. Gaze ahead a foot. So you're lengthening through the upper back. Send the wrists up. Now take that left hand down. Straighten the back and then turn to your right. Draw that right shoulder blade back. The leg is strong. Breath, 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 breath. Turning, keeping that right shoulder blade coming back. I'm going a little bit past the midline because it feels really great. Through the shoulder, just make sure your knee doesn't turn out, that front right knee. 1 more breath. Now you can take that right hand down, take the hands wide, and then step the back leg forward. And then take your right leg back. Both hands on the inside of that left leg. Look up, feel the back leg reach, keep the front left knee tucked in, shoulders are back, draw down to that back left knee, take an in-breath, take both hands to the left knee, lift. So it's so nice to pull the right hip forward so that you pull up right from that right thigh. Inhale the arms up, open the chest. Have your shoulders down. Keep the rise of the rib cage, pull the right rib cage forward as you open. Stay with your breath. Super big lift of the chin, opening the throat, shoulders again are back. The tailbone tucks under slightly to get really deep in through the quad. Dear Lord, opening, breath, breath, 1 more breath. Now you can come down. Interlace the hands, bring the chest right over the thigh, look ahead, a foot. So you're reaching the wrists up, opening, squishing the chest, rib cage right into the thigh. And then on your next inhale, take that right hand down, turn to your left, straighten the back right leg, open the chest, keep the front left knee directed forward. Breath, breath. Good. Back leg strong. And then you can take that left hand down. Now come on down onto the back knee. You're going to point the back toes. Walk your hand way forward, left hand underneath. Drop your right hip forward and then turn to your left. Lift the eyes, lift the chin, and keep letting that right hip drop. You're pulling up from the rib cage, so really pull up from the skin. And then you can gently lift. Now you're going to straighten your front leg, bend onto your back knee, point the toes and extend out over that leg. Pull up strongly through the left thigh as you reach forward. Okay, very good. Now lift and straighten the arms. Take your hand on the inside. Take that left leg to the outside. Rise into your standing kneel and then extend over that left leg. Keep the left leg straight. Keep lifting off the right side. Extend out. Keep the breath constant. 1 more breath. Again, the ribs are back. And then you can come forward. Now walk the hands back out and then take that left knee in, both hands together. Step the right leg forward.
And now just walking forward and lifting from the chest, really stretch right in through that left thigh. We're going to take the left hand forward, point the back toes, and drop that left hip. Take your right hand to your knee as you turn to the side. And as you keep that right knee tucked in, keep your left hip dropped. Keep the shoulder blade back. Keep pulling up from the skin, lifting from the rib cage. Breath. Breath. Really drop and pull up at the same time. Drop that the hip, the left pocket area, up and down. So pulling up but dropping. And then you can take both hands on either side of the foot, point the toes, and then straighten that right leg, reach right out over the right leg. Keep your breath constant, and on the exhale, pull the abdominal wall in. And breath. Excellent. Now we move that right leg to the outside as I rotate. So you're going to take that right foot out, lift from the rib cage, extend out and over. Keep the right leg straight. Lift. And then you can breathe in and come all the way back, taking the hands down, and then you can come back onto your back. So release all the way onto your spine, and let's just take a moment to let your whole body rest back. Yeah, just let your shoulders go. And then we'll take the hands in the air and come on into wrist circles. Come around. Breathing steadily. And other direction. Okay, that feels so good. Now let's just pull the fingers down. Hold on to the top of the hand and pull the fingers towards the forearm. Nice deep breath. Now, then take your hands, the tips of the fingers, pull back and stretch the heel of the hand to the ceiling. Really pull the fingers back. Okay, very good. Opposite hand, pull the hand down. Come on, right onto the top of the hand, send the wrist to the ceiling. Great. Pull the fingers back. Reach the heel of the hand to the ceiling. Okay, good. Now interlace the fingers and make a figure eight. Yeah, then you just go side to side, just wobble. This is really gentle. Now then you can turn your hands, palms to the ceiling with them interlaced. Move the hands towards the ceiling and pull the shoulder blades off the floor. Take a deep breath right into your upper back. Okay, good. Now just let the hands drop. Completely release into the floor. You can bend your knees and draw your knees in nice and wide. Do a nice rock from side to side. And then you can pull the knees in, really snug. Let the elbows bend to the outside. And then hold on to the low legs or the feet and let the knees bend to the outside. Keep your breathing steady. Now on your exhale, pull the feet a little more towards the head. So you're going to pull the tailbone off the floor if you can. And then let your left leg straighten. Now you can pull your right leg bent to the outside. So you're going to pull right down to the right. And if you can pull the knee down towards the outside of the armpit. And then do a gentle rock on that side. Keep your left leg reaching out. So you get a good stretch in through that left quad. And now actively reach that left leg out. Get a good massage right on the outside of that low back.
And then you can be to your center. Now reach the heel up and lengthen through the back of that leg. The shoulders are back as you reach that heel out. Of course, hold on behind the knee. Hold on exactly where you need to get that reach. Get the baby toe side pulling back. Keep the head relaxed, relaxing the neck. And then you can hold on to that right foot. Again, it's really good to use the first two fingers, hook the big toe, and then pull it to the outside. And you get a really good reach out. Now your left hand is on your left thigh, and you want to reach that left leg out as you extend over to the right. Good, be merciful. If you want to, this is really good. If you want to bend the knee, it's really nice on the inner thigh when the other way doesn't work. And get that heel reaching out. The advantage of going for the straight leg when you're just like here is you just keep on working the deep inner cords of these slicing inner thigh muscles. There's 5 layers. And as you keep on straightening, you're going to get a little deeper into the bellies of them. So if you can, you just work a little bit, and then you can get each end slowly over time. Work quickly, it's really the breathing more than anything. And you've got one more breath. Shoulders are back. And then you can breathe in, draw all the way back up. And now pull that leg in one more time, either with more strength, or you might just take it easy. In either position, make sure, and this is where I like to take my right thumb and press it right into the crease, the very top crease that you can get the deepest, and press down there. That will help you to fold from deeper in your hip flexor. And here's the opposite. If I don't fold, I'm going to lift from my quad a little bit. I'm going to bunch in here. Now I like to joke that it took me 8 years to get my hip flexors to let go. And sometimes the more fit you are, or the more we've had to say that in our careers, the tighter the hip flexors are. So that's where I really find pressing that crease down helps to get the leverage. And then take one more breath in. Get that wonderful reach. Okay, good. Now bend your knee in, hold on with the opposite left hand, hug around the leg and pull in. We're doing half of a lying pigeon. And just pulling that ankle towards the opposite knee. Sorry, I was right in the pose, towards the opposite left shoulder. Pull right across and do a gentle rock side to side. Now, then you can come to your center, hug that right knee in, come on into circles. And other direction. And then you can gently release that right leg, lie for a moment, and feel the difference between the two sides. And I always like to take the hand to the top of the thighs. Maybe you'll notice a difference in the heat. There's a lot of neural plexus that meet here, and of course lymph. And just notice if you notice more heat. There's also lots of heat in your hands, so it's tricky. But I'm sure you can feel the buzz more on that right side. And here we go, in breath. Now take that left leg up, reach through the heel, pull the leg in towards you. So as we isolate hamstrings today, be gentle. If you need to bend the knees to get more at the top of the hamstring, feel free. And then you can always release and then straighten the leg more. So that's how you get more to the top. And the knee is just over the shoulder. And you keep the heel reaching out as you pull back from the toes. Shoulders are back. Really reach out with the right leg on the floor. Now come into your half a happy baby. Bend that knee to the outside. Rest the right arm to the side and get that right leg reaching out. Bend in, bending towards that right shoulder. And one more breath, right leg actively reaching out. And you can either point the toes or flex the feet. It really just depends. Flexing the foot, the toes pulling back is better. It's just that you might need the foot stretched. So just notice if you need to stretch the shin, that's the toe point. Then you take the leg up, reach up through that heel, pull back from the toes. Get the shoulders pressing back as you reach that heel up, lengthening through the back of that left leg. Again, get a wonderful reach. Keep that right leg reaching out. Shoulders are back as you get that left heel up. Breath, breath, breath. And then here we go to the outside. Grab onto the big toe or the inside of the leg. First 2 fingers with the big toe. Exhale. Bring that left leg out to the side. Draw that right hip out as much as you can. Lengthening through that leg. Stay with your breath. Keeping that right leg reaching out actively. And then on your next in-breath, bring that left leg back up. Once again, pull in towards you, either more gently with more of a bend or stronger. See what you want to do. And keep that heel reaching out in either case. You can have the knee bent and reach the heel out. Keep the shoulders back. Deep breath. And then you can gently release that leg down. Coming down with nice control. Slowly release the leg to the floor. And then bend both knees. Draw the knees into the chest and gently rock side to side. Stay with your breath. Great. And then you can let your heels drop and release the legs into the floor. Come right into Shavasana, lying relaxation. Let your feet roll out. Feel the backs of the knees opening. Nice to press the shoulder blades under, getting a nice long neck. Palms rolled up to the ceiling, fingers naturally curl. Feel how the belly rises on your inhale and sinks on your exhale. Notice that the jaw is relaxed. The tip of the tongue is resting behind the top front teeth. And there's a small space between upper and lower teeth, just about the size of a grain of rice. The forehead is smooth and the eyes relax. Good. And now just taking in a deeper breath. And then let your feet gently roll in and out. Now you can bend your knees, pull the knees in wide, hug right at the front or the back. Draw the tailbone off the floor. Keep your breathing steady as the elbows bend, pulling the knees in. And then you can let your heels release, coming to the floor. Take a moment to settle there. Then stretch the arms overhead. Reach through the fingertips, spread the fingers, lengthening through the spine. The shoulder blades are under. And then just come right out to the side with the arms. Take the feet to the outside edges of the mat. Feel your feet grounded. Now press your feet into the mat and slightly flatten your back. Your tailbone will tilt forward slightly. And then relax. Natural arc in the back. One more time. Press into the feet. Just gently press the low back down. And then release. Okay, great. Now bending the knees together. Hug them in again. Hug around as tight as you can. Roll side to side. Now hold on behind the knees and then bring the legs softly in the air. They don't have to straighten, and then just shake out the calves. Shake out the ankles nice and floppy. And then bring the knees together, feet together. Bend the knees, let them drop. Roll to your right side and draw all the way up to seated position. Now just sit for a moment and do feel all the effects of the poses you've done. Just feel the length in your spine. Feel your shoulders back. And then taking a moment to feel into what is the intention that you'd like to set for today. How would you like to experience this day? Give it a word. And then evoke the feeling tone of that word. Feel it inside. For most of us, you usually feel it right in the belly, but you could feel it in the chest and throat. And then imagine a moment in your day, if there is, that you might most need to feel that intention. Or just have that feeling tone throughout your day. Imagine it in different moments that you'll be in today. And then you can bring your awareness back to this room. Lovely. We'll bring our hands together, bowing in namaste. Namaste, you guys. Have a fantastic day. Virginia, just stay on for a second, because I'm going to give you just a couple of tips for the wrists, and anybody else who has wrist pain. It's really common. So I just want to give you a few pointers to help with some of the poses and some adjustments you can do. And any questions, I'm here. Feel free to stay on. And also, I usually come on just a few minutes before. So if you ever have any requests for the class, let me know. And of course, if you have questions after, just stay with me here and I can help you with anything that you need as best I can. Okay, have a great day, you guys.
Thanks, Celeste.
You're welcome. So, Virginia, yeah, the wrist. Is there a particular pose that you're finding you're having the pain?
Maybe a side plank when we probably side plank, and sometimes downward dog.
Yeah. Did you have it today?
On the planks, I did elbows. So,
Okay, okay. In the downward dog, let me just show you what can help a lot is if there's a little bit too much weight towards the front part of the body, that will make a difference. But also sometimes we push from the forearms, and that push from the forearms can put more weight in the heel of the hands. You actually want the push to come from, actually that's totally different, right from the hinge of the hips. Now, you can see my hinge is high. If the hinge isn't as high, it doesn't matter. You can bend the knees and lift the hinge high. So
okay.
this hinge is really allows for a straight line right from your back to your hands without the weight in the hands. Now, I'm saying this all so easily, like, just hinge back. But it is if you can imagine, if I was holding your hips and pulling them back, that would take the weight off your wrists. And people will say to me, that feels so much better. So if you can pull back that way, and then again, bend the knees a bit to get the tip of the hips up higher, and that'll take the weight off the heel of the hands.
Okay.
That's the easiest thing to do.
Okay. All right. I will
Yeah.
definitely give that a try.
And the other thing is that as the shoulders get more used to the rise, they come down more, and there's less compression in your arm because you're taking it all through your back. So that as your hand is down, your shoulder's down so much that it's coming through the whole line in here instead of through the hands. Because I know what you're saying. When my shoulders are tight, in the morning's the trickiest. When the shoulders are tight, the weight can, thanks Sabine. Oh, good. So when the shoulders are tight, if you can really pull the shoulders down, it's funny, the mechanism I just showed does the same thing. So when the hands are on the floor and you really pull back from the bum, the core pulls up, then again, there's less weight in the hands and the shoulders are down more. Now, you can see, I wear this so that you can see where the shoulders go. The shoulders come down the back, and now the arms are really long, and now my heels feel great, my calves feel great, and my weight is back. And there's less weight in the heel of the hand. And if that doesn't happen, bend the knees to get the lift. But you can see there's such a long pull back from that line of the hinge of the hips down to the hands, and the shoulders are down. So, yeah, I know I'm getting a lot here. The other thing is, if you think of a dancer, they rise from their shoulder blades. So you can always see those diamond muscles in your rhomboids in their back, because they don't do like a football player. They don't rise their arms like this. They really have their shoulders down, and that will allow for a lot better use of your hand wrists. And it is a practice. I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. So
Thank you very much.
okay. Bye, Virginia.
Bye. Here's my